In this video, I will talk about dimension change. So dimensions refer to the length and the width of a 2D figure. Sometimes we call them the base and the height. So what would happen to my area and perimeter when we change these dimensions? So first up, find the area and perimeter of this rectangle. Alright. Area equals base times height, or length times width. So area equals 12. And then perimeter, we can add up all my sides. So 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 equals 16. There's my area and perimeter. So the question is, what would happen to my area and to my perimeter if we double the length and double the width? So let's take a look at this. So I have my original rectangle here. I want to double the length. So my current length is 12 or 6. Double that, it's now 12. And I also want to double the width. So that's 4. And there's my new rectangle. The question is, how many times bigger is a new rectangle? So my area question, how many times bigger? Okay, so we can do area equals 12 times 4, 48. Going from the original of 12 to 48, we can see it's 48 divided by 12 equals 4 times bigger. And you can see that visually from the picture. Here's my original. I double my length, which means I now have 1, 2 rectangles. And then I double up going this way. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles. So it's 4 times bigger. Mathematically, you can also express that using just the equations. Formula for area equals length times width. But then we double the length, so I have 2L, and we double the width, 2W. And from algebra, I see this is 2 times L times 2 times W. So that 2 and that 2 we can multiply out and get 4 L times W. So I have 4 right here is 4 times my LW, the original. 4 times the original. So that's one way of doing dimension change with area. You can either calculate out the whole area and figure out how many times bigger it became, or focus on the equation and see how many times larger is my new equation compared to the original. So the original, which is right here. Now let's take a look at the perimeter. For perimeter, it's how much longer. So my original perimeter is 16. Let's find our new perimeter. So I'll write over here, for perimeter, how much longer? So perimeter equals, this side's 12, plus over here is 4, plus up here is 12, plus over here is 4. 4 plus 12 plus 4 plus 12 equals 32. Comparing my new perimeter with my old perimeter, it's 2 times bigger, or 2 times longer. Alright. So Notice, for area, 2 times the length, 2 times the width means 4 times the area. But for perimeter, 2 times the length, 2 times the width just means 2 times perimeter. So let me make that note. Two times length, 2 times width gives us 4 times area, but it only gives us 2 times your perimeter. Okay. Alright, last question. What if the length is 3 units longer and the width is 1 unit longer? How much longer is my new perimeter? So my perimeter, how much longer? So let's take a look at this. Here's my original 6. I made the length 3 units longer. My original width is 2. I made it 1 unit longer. So now we can look at this rectangle, my new rectangle, which means this whole bottom side is 9, this whole left side is 3. So we can calculate perimeter equals 3 plus 9 plus 3 plus 9 equals 24. Now, compare this with my old perimeter, 16. How much longer is 24 compared to 16? (24 minus 16) gets me 8. So 8 units longer. Now that's the long way figuring this out. Calculate my old perimeter, calculate the new perimeter, and then figure out the difference. That's the long way. Shortcut time is shortcut. Calculate how much did you add to each side. Oops, I'm off the screen. How much did you add to each side? For the bottom side, for the length, the bottom side. So for the bottom side, you did plus 3. For the top side, it's also 3 units longer. For the left side, it's 1 unit longer. And for the right side, it's also 1 unit longer. Okay, let me express that again. My original is 6. The statement, the question up here says I added 3 to this bottom side, which means I also added 3 to the top side. Top and bottom are the same. And then the statement here says the width is 1 unit longer. So I added 1 unit on the left, which means 1 unit on the right. And all together, add this all up. 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 gets me 8 units longer. Which is the same as manually calculating that perimeter. Right? So there you have it. Dimension change. Dimensions, length and width. We can calculate the area, and then as we change it, what happens to my new area and to my new perimeter.